For over 30 years, Maggi was the undisputed king of the Indian kitchen. It was the absolute baseline of normalcy for a quick meal. That ubiquity translated to massive financial control. The brand held a staggering 75% of the instant noodle market. But in May 2015, the Food Safety Authority alleged those noodles contained dangerous lead and MSG. Market share plummeted to zero, almost overnight. States like Uttar Pradesh and Delhi initiated temporary bans, setting off a domino effect of panic across the country. On June 4th, corporate leadership had to face the press, cease their initial denials, and initiate a massive nationwide withdrawal of the product. That single corporate U-turn sent $50 million worth of the popular packaged noodles straight into massive industrial incinerators. A multi-decade market monopoly was eradicated in a matter of weeks by a single health scare. The brand was facing extinction. Nestlé fought back by taking the rare step of suing the food regulator in the Bombay High Court. In court, the company exposed a major scientific flaw in the government's case. The specific laboratories used to test the noodles were not officially accredited to test for lead. Furthermore, the government samples had been left open for considerable periods before testing. This meant the extreme lead readings were likely caused by secondary environmental contamination, not the manufacturing process. As for the misbranding allegation regarding MSG, the defense laid out the chemical distinction between a deliberate MSG additive and the naturally occurring glutamate found in standard fruit ingredients. The court ultimately struck down the nationwide ban, ruling that the initial orders were arbitrary and violated transparent testing protocols. But proving scientific innocence in a courtroom is insufficient for recovery. A legal victory clears the product for sale on paper, but it does absolutely nothing to clear public fear. Consumers don't eat court orders. To sell noodles again, the company had to rebuild trust directly with panicked consumers. They dropped their defensive corporate posture entirely. They launched a social media counteroffensive, taking the time to directly reply to thousands of individual customer fears with objective, lab-cleared data. They centralized this transparency effort by creating a dedicated public FAQ portal, carefully breaking down the complex science of food safety for a lay audience. Even though social media campaigns pivoted, they moved away from emotional, sentimental messaging and lodged bold, triumphant declarations of safety backed by independent lab results. Direct peer-to-peer transparency rebuilt what press releases couldn't. By treating consumer anxiety as valid and answering it with raw data, the brand converted fear back into a purchase. Guiding this return was a new managing director, Suresh Narayanan. He recognized that simply putting the old product back on shelves wouldn't guarantee the company's survival. He rolled out a urban strategy, a targeted push to drive volume growth by penetrating deeper into semi-urban and rural demographic markets. Simultaneously, the company executed an aggressive portfolio diversification effort. They launched over 150 new products, ensuring they would never again be reliant on a single point of failure. These combined strategies worked. The brand clawed its primary market share back up from zero, stabilizing at 60%. Over the next decade, the company achieved a tenfold increase in market capitalization and a 6 times growth in net profit. Nestlé used the total collapse of their old business model to build a wider, diversified portfolio. They emerged with more products, deeper market penetration, and a higher valuation than ever before.